Welcome, my magical star beings. Today's reading is actually a request. Someone requested a tea reading for spooky season. So we're going to take a look at what people whisper about you when you're not around. So the quick rundown of what's going to happen in this reading. First, we're going to take a look at who's whispering and who are they talking to. Then we're going to take a look at what they're saying. Then we're going to take a look at what they're not saying but want to say. Then after that, we will take a look at zodiac signs and initials for who's talking about you. So let's get straight into your pile selection. For pile 1, we have Brecciated Jasper with Voodoo in blue. Then for pile 2, we have the Shell with Eclipse Mermaid. And for pile 3, we have Amethyst with the 3 Fates. So you can either choose your pile based off your zodiac in the thumbnail or based off the pile you're most drawn to. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. So hopefully by now you have picked a pile for yourself. If you want to support the channel and watch the sponsored segment, then I would really appreciate it. But if you want to get straight into the reading, then that's okay. The timestamps are in the description box below, and each segment of the reading is timestamped. So then I will see you there at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with a psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free.
For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that would be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals. But that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video.
Pile 1, so you chose the Brecciated Jasper crystal and the Voodoo in blue card with back off. Let's go straight into your reading about what people whisper about you when you're not around. So if you didn't see the intro, we're going to first take a look at who's whispering, who they're talking to. Then we're going to take a look at what they're saying and what they're not saying but want to say. Then we will take a look at Zodiacs after. So let's get straight into your reading. So I'm going to pull one card from the Oracle deck about who's whispering, and then one card for who they're talking to. Then we'll pull tarot after. So who's whispering about pile number 1 when they're not around? Who's whispering about pile number 1 when they're not around? So we have Poe in reverse. It says, time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. Then who are they talking to? We have I am Kali with From Death Comes Rebirth. Okay, I see somebody talking on the phone. I'm seeing that scene from Mean Girls where she's talking on the phone to I think it was Katie talking on the phone to Regina. Karen and Gretchen were talking on the phone as well. I don't know if Katie was on the phone, but anyways, Gretchen was busy trying to tell Katie what Regina told Gretchen about Katie, right? And Regina was basically asking Katie to hang out, and then she was like, I'm sick. And then she was like, boo, you whore. I'm seeing that scene in my mind's eye. So maybe they're talking over the phone about you. Which is interesting that this card came out reverse with technology reverse. Maybe this is someone that's speaking that isn't on technology much, isn't really on social media much. Okay, but maybe they're talking on the phone to this person. Okay, they're possibly talking to someone in their friend group, since I'm getting that energy of that vision. Now, in terms of who's talking, I was smelling cleaning products. So this could be someone that is very cleanly, almost like everything has to be clean in their home. Everything has to be spotless. They could be very on top of things in that sense. Like everything has to be put in its place in their home. For some, they could have green, blue eyes, black hair like we see in the card, but doesn't have to be. They could have a rounder or heart-shaped face for some. Maybe thinner eyebrows. They could have this very tough exterior, almost like this. They try to act tougher than they actually are, whoever's talking about you. And then who they're whispering to. They're speaking to somebody that either is no longer in their life or wants to leave their life. They're talking to someone that seems to be outgrowing them, in a way. And the person talking seems to be someone that isn't growing much. The person they're talking to seems to be outgrowing them and seems to be distancing themselves from them because they can see this person's not growing with them. And the person they're talking to doesn't seem to give much of a care about what they're saying about you, not because they don't care about you, but because this person is like outgrowing the need to gossip about people. So maybe they're listening compassionately, but they're not really engaging much in the conversation. Let's get the tarot cards now. So I think I'm going to use this deck. So who is whispering about pile number 1? Who is whispering about pile number 1? We have the 4 of Cups. I hear that this person's very patient. The Hierophant. And the Chariot. So this seems to be someone that gets bored very easily. And when they get bored, they like to talk about people. They like to gossip when they're bored. I also see that this person could have a toxic side to them with the Devil at the back of the deck. And this toxic side includes gossiping about people, maybe portraying that mean girl energy or mean guy energy. They are very self-serving in a way. When they do things, when they make choices, it's for themselves. It's not for other people. Like, let's say this person goes and buys a gift for someone. It's not just buying that gift for that person. They would maybe intend to have it benefit them in some way. So this is a very self-serving, selfish type of person. Very conceited, very obsessed with themselves. I do think she's prettier than me, so there may be some self-comparison here regardless of gender. But it doesn't have to be about looks, but it could be. Also, with social media reverse, this is making me think that maybe they view your social media from a fake account. This person could travel a lot or could come from a different country. Their parents could have immigrated in some way. They could be very intelligent and smart, but they like to talk about gossip when they're bored, like I said. They could be intelligent, like well educated in some way, but they're also very cutthroat, I hear. And their words cut like a knife. They are very harsh with their words and they know how to like hurt a person with their words. So whoever we're picking up on doesn't seem to have the greatest values. Seems to be like in this mean energy, and it seems like they gossip about everyone, even those they're closest to. They also are hardworking. Like, I see them wanting to have a lot of money, wanting to have like a big house, luxury. They almost want to impress people with what they have. They put a lot of emphasis in like material things. That's what I pick up on from them. The Hierophant could be Taurus energy, Chariot could be Cancer energy, but doesn't have to be. Or they could just act like a Cancer or act like a Taurus. Okay, the person they're talking to, the Ace of Swords. I hear this person's very grounded, very much in like that Libra energy of fairness, even if they're not a Libra. We have Cancer again with the moon. Or you could be a Cancer, Knight of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so this person seems to be sort of on and off with the person here. They seem to have like some kind of on and off relationship. This person seems to be inconsistent with their efforts towards this person. Where sometimes they talk to them, sometimes they're like, ugh, I'm not in the mood to talk to this person, maybe ignores their calls. Okay, sometimes maybe avoids them. I feel like this person has a lot more depth than this person with the moon. They're a lot more emotionally mature, a lot more emotionally intelligent. And I do get that this person they're talking to or whispering to tends to give them more of a balanced, grounded view. Like, let's say this person's gossiping to this person about somebody else and says, oh, look at what that person was wearing. Did you see what that person was wearing? Then this person responds with, they can wear whatever they want. Why does it affect you? I see them almost challenging this person mentally, and that this person almost not stops going to them completely, but goes to them less with gossip because of their response. They don't like being challenged, this person. This is someone that is not the most reliable, but they're also intelligent, well-spoken, very emotional and sensitive, and deep, like I said. This person they're talking to seems to have daddy issues, I hear. And they think of themselves as pure in some way, like someone with like good morals and intentions. Okay, let's remove these cards and take a look at the next question, because I don't want to go too deep into the question and like make the reading unnecessarily long. Okay, so what are they whispering about pile number 1 when they're not around? What are they whispering about pile 1 when they're not around? 9 of Swords, 6 of Cups. Or that could be a group of people if it's not one person that are like that. Justice, 10 of Cups. Okay, so they're saying that you seem to have matured in some way. The person they're talking to seems to be liking you more than you think. Maybe not in a romantic way, but more in a way of like, oh, I could see myself being friends with them. They won't tell it to that person because they know they'd get a bad reaction from that person or that group of people. Okay? If it's like a group of people, then that's just the energy they're showing up in. They seem to be talking about your past, or this seems to be someone from your past talking about you. Okay, there seems to be some kind of shock factor about what you're wearing. I don't like to say this, but whoever I'm picking up on that's talking about you either seems to have more conservative beliefs or modest beliefs, if that makes sense. It seems to be about like how revealing your clothes are. And even if the person talking about you wears revealing clothes, there seems to be some kind of shock factor around that, which I don't like that energy coming through, but it's what I see. I don't think anyone should comment on what another person's wearing, but this is what's coming through. I think that the person talking about you is also very jealous of the clothes you're wearing, like how the clothes fit you, how sexy your body looks when you're wearing the clothes, how the clothes fit on your body. Again, they also seem to be comparing themselves to you. And maybe for some of you, talking badly about what you're wearing, but taking inspiration from it, which is weird in my opinion. Like, how are you going to talk shit about somebody you're inspired by? But that's what I see. And I'm seeing an example of no shade, no hate, Hailey and Selena Gomez. Um, like how Hailey Bieber like recently did some interview where she was like, "Oh, I'm not inspired by Selena, but like we can see by the many different posts comparing what they wore, like how they took pictures. Hailey copied a lot from Selena." And I'm not like, typically gonna talk about that or talk badly about anybody, like no hate to anybody, but I'm just seeing that as an example in my mind of like a person that copies you but takes inspiration from you but pretends they don't. Okay? They could even be talking about like, oh, what they're wearing is like so last season or so this year, like outdated in a way, but taking inspiration from you. Does that make sense? So whoever's talking about you, whispering about you, seems to be very catty in the way they describe you. They're worried that you find out, though, that you find out the truth of what they've been saying, so they're kind of censoring themselves a little bit in terms of what they're saying. We'll see what they wish to say, but that's what I'm getting so far. For some of you, not all, there could be some jealousy here in the sense of another person likes you that they like and is paying attention to you. This person is hoping there would be delays in your life, like the things you want would be delayed to come to fruition, if that makes sense. And it seems that they're like wondering if you have slept with the person they're interested in. Because I see a vision of you like in bed with somebody and you're like having like these dreamy, seductive eyes towards the person and kissing them in a way. Okay, so I don't know if that's actually happened or not, but they're wondering like if you've made a move on that person, like if you've slept with that person. So for some of you, this could be like a new girlfriend or boyfriend of an ex too, with the Six of Cups, or some kind of situationship, or let's say they know that if it's not like an ex situationship, then maybe they know that this person's interested in you and they're threatened by it. Yeah, the talk here doesn't seem positive with the Five of Swords coming out. I heard passive aggressive. Five of Swords. I see this person like looking in a mirror while they're talking about you. I just get like a very vain energy from the person. I'm also seeing the Virgo symbol in my mind's eye, and I'm seeing them drink wine while they talk about you. I'm also seeing someone paint. And I'm seeing like Rapunzel, Barbie Rapunzel when she's painting. So I don't know if this person um looks like Barbie in some way or something, but like I'm just seeing Barbie paints. Even if they don't look like Barbie, maybe they're just creative in some way. But yeah, there does seem to be like some alcohol present while they're talking about you, which makes them maybe a little bit more loose-lipped than they'd want to be. Death, strength, Three of Swords, and Tower. I heard bargaining. I don't know what they're bargaining for. Let me see if I can tap into that energy. What is this bargaining energy about? Okay, what I'm getting in my mind's eye is, let's say they're sitting at a bar and I see them like ordering a drink from the bartender. And then they're like to the bartender, if this person comes in the bar, like don't serve them, drinks or anything like that. And then I will pay more for drinks or something like that. That's an example I'm seeing in my mind's eye. So it doesn't have to be that literally. But it's like, maybe they're telling people to not talk to you, to not be friends with you, and then they'll do a favor for that friend if they don't talk to you or like befriend you or something. That's like an example I can think of in my mind. But maybe they're trying to like sabotage things for you, for some of you. Because the Five of Swords can represent that. It's like they're hoping this doesn't last long, that person's interest in you. They might try to sabotage that, if that's applicable for some of you. Because I keep seeing like some kind of jealousy about a man or woman that's interested in you. Depending on like your sexuality, of course. It's kind of like this person is hoping, or this group of people are, I think it's more so a person. This person is like hoping things fail for you, hoping things fall apart. It's like they're praying or wishing on your downfall with the Tower, Three of Swords. And they're hoping that the person like rejects you or breaks your heart or something. Or like leads you on. They're hoping that you don't have strong feelings for the person on their mind. And I literally keep seeing them in a bar. And I see them getting like blackout drunk and then crying about the situation. Which makes sense because the Three of Swords is here, which talks about heartbreak. So they could be crying over the fact that this person's interested in you. Which is interesting. The Eight of Cups is here. So this makes me think that maybe this person left them for you, or if they didn't leave them for you, maybe they broke up with the person, or maybe the person was like showing interest in them and then stopped showing interest in them with the Eight of Cups. There's something about that coming through. Two of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. And I see their friend, the one that's outgrowing them, being so fed up with this person because I see them like getting so blackout drunk that they can't walk, and then this friend like having to carry them into their Uber or something like that. And this friend is like, you're embarrassing us. Okay, so that's what I see in my mind's eye. I see a vision of that literally. So there's definitely alcohol present while talking, and they seem to be getting drunk while talking about you. This incident could have happened recently, like within the last few weeks, 3 weeks. Okay, this is making me laugh. I'm hearing that song by Lana Del Rey where she's like, my kitty tastes like Pepsi Cola. So there keeps being this energy of like wondering if you're better in bed than they are. Like wondering if you satisfy this person more than they do. Even if you've never slept with the person, there's talk about that. I see them being very tense while they're talking about you. And there's something about you not even trying, but just catching the person's attention in some way, shape, or form. And they have to like try so hard to get this person to like them. Like they have to go and like plan out their whole outfit to get this person to even look at them. But you just wear something and it's like you're not even like trying that hard and this person notices you. Or, you're just kind of carefree, doing your own thing and the person notices you, but this person has to try so hard to get this person to notice them, the person they're interested in. So I'm not seeing any other scenario. I wanted to keep it open-ended, and I was hoping that like other scenarios would come through, but I keep seeing this scenario of like liking the same person. You might not even be interested in the person they like, but they almost assume that you're going to steal them away. Even if they're not theirs, even if they're not like official, it almost just feels, I feel the heartbreak in my heart chakra from this person. It almost just feels like they're threatened that you will steal this person away from them. Okay, so let's move on to what they're not saying but want to say. So I'm not really getting anything else in terms of their talk about you. They may have only spoken about you once, because I kept getting the same scenario of drinking while talking about you. Okay, so what are they saying? What are they not saying but want to say? They want to say, I wonder if what I said offended them. They may have said something to you that was a little bit like passive aggressive, a little bit of like a jab, but not outright rude, like where you can call it out. You know when someone's like rude in a passive aggressive way where they seem nice, but they're actually rude, or they give like a backhanded compliment? They may have done that to you. Look at the wine here. This is confirmation. So Magician, 7 of Cups. There's something about them saying like, wanting to say like, I saw them the other day and they looked so pretty or they looked so handsome. Okay, I don't want to say this because like I don't want to make fun of this person, because I get it. Like, even though I don't like them for talking about you like that, I also just don't want to make fun of this person. I want to stay kind of like neutral while I read the energies, but I see them vomiting because they've drank so much. Or maybe that's like about word vomit wanting to come out. Like wanting to just vent about you. I see other people like eavesdropping on the conversation, trying to get the tea. Like other people around them, maybe strangers, non-strangers. 4 swords. The Queen of Pentacles. There's something about them wanting to control you in some way. Rolling their eyes at you, or wanting to roll their eyes at you while they speak about you. Or maybe they want to control the other person's reaction in some way, but they can't. What they would want to say but wouldn't say is, I'm not bothered by this. But they know they can't say that because they seem very bothered. You know that type of person that's like, I don't care, but you can see they care because they seem angry or agitated? That's what I see. They know they're going to give themselves away if they say they don't care and that they're chill, they don't care. They know they're going to give themselves away. I see them wanting to say that you're a copy of them, but they can't say that because they know they're the one taking inspiration from you and copying you. Like, they want to say you want to be me so bad, but they know that they can't say that because they're actually the one copying you or taking inspiration from you. They want to compliment you and say something good about you, but they stop themselves from doing so because of their jealousy here and animosity. And they want to say, I want to get vengeance, because I heard the word vengeance, but they stop themselves from saying that because this person, their image is everything. They don't want to like ruin their own reputation. They want to talk about your money situation, but stop themselves from doing so, and about your independence. So I'm seeing that you guys could like work very hard for what you have right now, where you built yourself to where you are right now. And it's almost like you had to do it on your own, but this person just had things handed to them in some way. So it almost feels like they want to make fun of you for that, but they stop themselves from doing so. They want to talk about what they think you're going to do next. Like with the person, like if you're going to have a relationship with this person, kind of like not really scheming, but oh, this is my theory on what's going to happen next. Like that kind of energy. The Fool, Knight of Swords reverse, Page of Swords, Three of Wands. I see them even like wanting reassurance from their friend and being like, do you think they're gonna have like a future together? Do you think they would like be in a serious long-term connection? Do you think it would just like start off fast and end fast? It's like they're wanting to ask their friend for reassurance about that, but they stop themselves from doing so. Eight of Wands. I hear enemy territory. So this could be someone you actively dislike, or maybe they could see you as their enemy. Eight of Cups. I see them like watching your story like from a fake account and repeating it the whole time, almost being obsessed. That's what I see in my mind's eye. They want to, again, like compliment you with the Queen of Wands, but they stop themselves from doing so because they're too bitter to, like, give you your flowers. They almost like want to say, I can see why this person's interested in you and why this person's like detached from me, like the person they're interested in romantically. But they don't want to say that because that would like that would hit a blow to their own ego in some way, like admitting that. Admitting that they feel self-conscious around you, that they feel insecure around you, that they almost feel like the person moved on to you. Five of Swords, Death, Nine of Swords. This could even be someone like an ex of your current partner, or like someone your current partner was talking to but stopped talking to, like romantically. If you are in a relationship, of course. If you're not, don't take the message. And some of you might even wonder, okay, like maybe I have a current partner, but I don't know any of their exes. I haven't met any of their exes. I haven't met any of the women they've spoken to or men they've spoken to, depending on sexuality, gender here. But I'm seeing like, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is a situation that happened a long time ago for me, as an example, where I was talking to someone when I was single, and so I went through their Instagram and I saw a bunch of comments like from other women. And then I confronted that person about it like a long time ago. Years. Okay. I don't even think about that person or care about that person. But Spirit is showing me that's in my mind's eye. So that makes me think that maybe this person found you on social media, found you in this person's comments, or maybe this person posted you and they're stalking this person's social media. Something like that's coming through, even if you haven't met this person. 10 of Wands, Strength. Yeah, they would want to say that they're worried this person just forgets about them, and like they're worried that it's over completely, because they still want to reconnect with this person that left them, right? But they're like worried that it's like completely over and that they're the only ones holding on to it. They know that this person and them had some issues and problems, but they thought their connection was strong enough to, like have the bandwidth to overcome that, but that never happened the way they expected. So they wanted to say that, but didn't say that. Okay, so now let's take a look at zodiacs and initials. This feels very petty high school drama-ish. Like, It's annoying. I know it's easier said than done to move on from a person, but I mean, if this person isn't showing them interest anymore, then like, what do they want? Like, it's not your fault if the person likes you, unless you like actively took this person from somebody, like in a third party situation. But yeah, okay. Let's see what zodiacs we have. The first house, which is Aries energy, it's about the self, appearance, body, identity, first impression. So this person is someone that takes a lot of care in their self, their appearance. They could, spend hours getting ready. Their image is very important with the first house. We have Venus, which is the energy of relationships, love. We did speak about this, but it's also the energy of beauty. So this could be someone that is conventionally attractive, conventionally beautiful. They could be someone that's kind of like down bad for this person. But I feel like their interest in this person was very superficial with the first house in Venus. It was more about like what this can do for me and my image. That's what I see with them. So this is Taurus, Libra, and then we have Aquarius. We have Neptune, which is Pisces energy, and it's associated with dreams, fantasy, and idealism. We have Virgo. Join my membership. How did this get here? We have Pluto with transformation power. This is associated to Scorpio. We have the ninth house, which is associated with Sagittarius. I'm now seeing Britney Spears in my mind's eye, and I kept seeing like blonde people in my mind's eye, which makes me think that this person could have blonde hair for some of you, the person that's speaking about you. Because first I saw Regina George and Katie. I mean, not Katie, Karen. Then I was seeing what was I seeing earlier? Barbie, and then now I'm seeing Britney Spears. So for some of you, this person could have like blonde hair. Uranus, which is associated with Aquarius, and we have Saturn, which is associated with Aquarius and Capricorn. So this is someone that tries to act wise but isn't very wise. Like, what I get with this person is that they're very performative. They almost try to act like they're unique, even though they're not. They may even try to act like they had hardships in life, but no, they were very spoiled. Like, things were handed to them, they're very privileged, and that's okay to admit that. Like, you don't have to lie and pretend you went through hardship just to, like, seem a certain type of way. Not you, but this person, I mean. Okay, we have D. I see them saying, I don't care because, like, I can find another man or woman. Maybe they might not say, I don't care, because I picked up in that, what they want to say but don't say, I don't care. Maybe they want to say, I don't care, but they're like, oh, I'll find another man or woman, like, easily, in a heartbeat. DB. H. F. I feel like you just hit this person's ego in some way because someone is interested in you and not them. FJ, and I don't feel like they've been rejected much. I don't think they're even that much like infatuated with this person. I think it's more about their ego and how it makes them feel about themselves. Z. Q. A. Q and A makes me think they may be like asking questions about you to people you know, or people that know of you, like mutual friends are. And you. So that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this resonated with you. Let me know how it resonated down in the comments below if it resonated at all. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the Shell and the Eclipse Mermaid with a powerful energy shift. So we're taking a look at what people whisper about you when you're not around. Let's get straight into your reading. So the rundown of the reading, if you didn't see the intro, is going to be who's whispering, who are they talking to. Then we're going to look at what they're saying. Then we're going to take a look at what they're not saying but would want to say. Then after that, we'll take a look at zodiac signs. So spirit guides of pile number 2. What people whisper about them when they're not around. Who's whispering? And who are they talking to? So I'm going to pull one card from the Oracle deck about who's whispering and then who they're talking to. Then with the rest, we'll use tarot. So who is whispering? We have Fairy of the Divine Hand with intoxication, distorted view, overindulgence. And who's listening? Who are they talking to? Sea Storm with calm amid chaos. Okay, so this seems to be 2 people talking about you to another person. Or 2 groups of people talking about you to another group of people. So, firstly, who's talking? I see whoever's talking to be a very pleasure kind of seeking person. They may overindulge in food, sex, alcohol, whatever it is, they just overindulge a lot. They live life through their senses. They may almost be misunderstanding you in a way or viewing you from a distorted perception where they think that's the truth, but it may not necessarily be totally true. Like, you know, when someone sees you a certain type of way, but that's not really who you are, that could be the energy. They could not know you very well or could be misunderstanding you in some way. And they could be kind of like intoxicated while speaking about you, either high or drunk or whatever, but doesn't have to be. What I will say about who's listening, I see someone that like wears a lot of gowns when they're sleeping. Like, I'm seeing more of a feminine energy that's listening that is almost like very girly girl. Because I'm seeing somebody like that wears a lot of pink, that wears a lot of like silk, likes a lot of self-care. Whoever is listening seems to be someone that is going through a lot of chaos emotionally. They seem to be, experiencing just a hard time in their life, and they're very overwhelmed by their responsibilities and by the pain in their life, but they feel like they need to keep going. They feel like they can't slow down. They feel like if they had to slow down, the world wouldn't wait for them. Like, they have to still continue taking care of their responsibilities, even though they're going through something at the moment. And I do get that this person is, or this group of people listening, is kind of like fed up with the talk about you because they want to talk about their own problems, not you. Not in a way of like not liking you, but they have like things they're dealing with that they want to get off their chest. And they're kind of like, can we leave this topic? Because I want to talk about the things I'm going through. So that's what I see right off the bat. So the person talking about you, or the group of people talking about you, the 2 groups, they seem to be trying to understand your point, but also their own point. They try to seem to like see it from both sides. Okay, but this conversation isn't leading to growth in any type of way. The person listening could kind of have curly hair like this woman here, and the person talking could have highlights. Okay, so let's get tarot cards for who these people are. So who's whispering firstly? Who's whispering about pile 2 when they're not around? We have the Queen of Swords reverse. We have the King of Pentacles. And we have the Emperor reverse with the King of Cups. So I heard that for some of you, this is someone you're friends with, or a group of people you're friends with, if it's like a friendship group, or 2 groups of people you're close to. For others of you, if you're not close to them, then maybe you sometimes interact with them if you're not like that close to them, but maybe like you interact with them sometimes, you know of them in some way. So I see masculine energy for the group of people that are talking about you, or most of them could be masculine, if that makes sense. Or the person could be masculine, but it's interesting because I felt that masculine energy before, but I wanted to pull cards to make sure before I just speak. And before I pulled cards, I was picking up on the energy of like a gay man. So I don't know, like, if within this friendship group there's maybe like a gay man or what, but I'm picking up on that. It doesn't have to be for all of you, but that's just what I'm feeling for some of you. Now, in terms of who they actually are, they could be very quiet, very shy, very reserved. They could be kind of like emotionally detached, more so focused on travel, like I'm getting catching flights, not feelings kind of vibes. It doesn't have to be travel, but it's kind of like they're very detached. They're not like so focused on emotions. They're more so focused on what they have in the physical, things they want to do in the physical, if that makes sense. They could be very like not just very quiet, but very unproblematic is what I hear. And the way they speak about you could be positive, but we'll see when we look at what they're actually saying. But I get that these are like very unproblematic people. Not very like into drama or anything like that. Not aggressive either. Like very chill. Very grounded. Maybe kind of mature. Okay, let's take a look at who's listening now. The Emperor could represent Aries energy. But we'll see what we get later for the Zodiacs. So we have King of Wands. Who's listening? Who are they talking to? The Nine of Wands reverse and the Moon reverse. So who they're talking to seems to be very similar in the sense of detached, not very emotional. This person or group of people they're talking to seem to be kind of like also unproblematic, not really liking drama, very ambitious, very much like lively and entertaining. They know how to like make people laugh. But whatever problem they're going through, it feels like this is very huge for them, and it's making them feel very moody in the moment, like listening to the conversation because they just want to talk about themselves and their own problems, but they feel like their friends aren't really listening to their problems. Like, because they're all detached in a way, it's not that there's no empathy here, but I don't think there's like a self-awareness from the person talking. They're not realizing that this person is like feeling emotional about something, even though they're not usually emotional. Does that make sense? Let's see what they're talking about now. So what they're saying about pile number 2. What are they whispering about pile 2 when pile 2's not around? What are they whispering about pile 2 when pile 2's not around? We have the Two of Pentacles showing up reverse. We have the Ace of Swords showing up reverse. So earlier I said something about a misunderstanding. Maybe a misunderstanding actually happened. But they're trying to see your point of view and trying to understand your point of view and see both. They're trying to like do this in a mature way, but they're still kind of like misunderstanding a little bit, even though they're trying to understand you. Does that make sense? So the Ace of Swords reverse generally represents a confusion about the situation. So let's say you said something to this group of people or to this one person, and now they're trying to like understand why you said that, but they're still confused. They're trying to see it from your point of view, but they're still confused. Maybe they're missing something, like maybe they're missing some kind of piece of information, or they're trying to see it from your point of view, but they're missing the point. Does that make sense? I'm getting that energy. Six of Cups, this seems to be something that happened a long time ago, not something that happened recently, but it's almost like this person or group of people are still stuck on this thing that happened in the past. It may have been like a recurring pattern or thing that happened in the past, and it's like resurfacing now, or it may have been like a one-time thing that happened in the past that they can't get over. Okay, the Magician upright. So the thing is, these people aren't really like drama like focused. So I'd say their conversation about you isn't coming through that way. Even when I read the conversation, at least that's not what I'm picking up on. If I do see that, I'll mention it, but I don't pick up on them trying to start drama. But when I said something about they're not growing from the conversation, it's coming through as though they're not getting anywhere with it. It's like, when you try to figure out why somebody did something and you keep trying to figure out why, and you never get to a point or conclusion where you understand, it's kind of pointless. It's like you're going in a loop or circle. So that's what I'm talking about here. How Spirit is like revealing it to me in a way, like they're almost like going in loops or circles trying to talk about this thing from the past that happened a long time ago, mind you, but it's not that they're trying to create drama, but it's like they're stuck on this thing from the past. They can't get over it. It may have been even a situation that they may have not needed to take personally, but maybe took personally. Or maybe they didn't take it personally, but they're just trying to understand why this happened in the past. Why you said or did this thing. This again seems to be some kind of misunderstanding here. And I'm getting deja vu of this. Like I've dreamt of doing this reading. Like actually literally dreamt it. Because sometimes I dream of doing like YouTube readings, and then in the dream I'm like talking about certain things. And I feel that deja vu energy as if I've spoken about this in a dream, which is quite interesting. They could actually literally be dreaming about you, or dreaming about the situation. Nine of Wands reverse, Moon reverse. It's like they're not trying to create problems. They're maybe even walking on eggshells with the Nine of Wands reverse. Not because you did anything wrong, but because they don't want to say the wrong thing that makes it seem like they're trying to create a problem or drama. Nine of Wands reverse is like a very unproblematic energy of like, I'm not trying to create drama. I'm just trying to address this issue so that we can move past it. But they seem to be stuck on the issue. Okay. The Moon reverse is like they're not that emotionally affected by it. King of Cups reverse, they're not emotionally affected by this thing, but they're stuck on it mentally, where they just can't understand why this happened, why you said or did this thing. King of Wands and the Emperor reverse. There's something about a loss of control here. You're not reacting or doing something they would expect you to do. And I think what I'm seeing here is like, when someone has like an assumption about you and they think you're one way and then you act off script, and then all of a sudden they're like, whoa. They're not consciously saying, whoa, you're not acting according to my script, but unconsciously, subconsciously, there's like this, whoa, you're not acting how I thought you would. You're not reacting how I thought you would. So something about like a loss of control is coming up here. Not that they want to control you, but they almost feel like you didn't react the way they expected you to react, or act the way they expected you to act. Knight of Swords reverse. The Five of Cups reverse. The Ace of Cups reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles reverse. Okay, they seem to be saying like, I'm not emotionally bothered by the situation. I'm not bothered by pile 2. I love pile 2. I hear them saying like, I love pile 2. I like pile 2, but I just I'm trying to understand them. I'm still confused about the situation. As I say that, I hear a ringing in my left ear. Sorry, I don't mean to make this sound repetitive, but I feel like they keep repeating the same points over and over again. Now, what they are saying here is that you seem to be like focusing on yourself. You could have poured into these people a lot, or like this group of people a lot, and maybe you pulled back a little bit to focus on yourself, because I feel like you're focusing on your own work or your own responsibilities or the things you need to get done. And I feel like maybe it's not that they're taking it personally, but they're wondering like why you're doing that. Is there something they did wrong? Did they accidentally say something they shouldn't have said? It's like they're worried about like if you no longer want to be around them or not, if you don't care about them anymore or not. They're worried that they might have hurt your feelings, and maybe you're not saying something, but maybe your feelings are hurt. So they're asking like their other friends, the people that are listening, or the person that's listening, do you think what I said hurt their feelings? Like, I can't think about what I might have did or said that maybe hurt their feelings or rubbed them the wrong way, but they haven't spoken to me in like a few weeks, and I'm wondering if I did something wrong, if I hurt their feelings. And then they're saying, maybe I didn't hurt their feelings. Maybe they're just busy and I don't know it, but it seems like they usually put in a lot more effort into our friendship or connection. And now I just don't know if I did something to accidentally step on their toes, because I don't want to create drama. I'm getting that kind of energy for how they're speaking about you. And they're saying like, usually I'm not impulsive. Usually I don't just say things or do things without thinking. And I think I would know if I did something wrong, but I just can't think of what I did. Maybe it was this, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Do you think this would make this person mad? That's the kind of conversation happening here. Okay, so that's the basis of it. Let's take a look at what they're not saying that they want to say. I'm hearing I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out by like little things. And this is stressing me out more. Okay, what they're not saying but want to say. What are they whispering about? Pile. Number 2. What are they saying but not saying? What are they saying but wanting to say? 2 of Cups reverse. I don't know. I feel like Pile 2 doesn't want to be around me anymore. I don't know. I feel like Pile 2 doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, or doesn't want to be in a relationship with me anymore. It seems like they're moving on, but I don't know. But maybe they could also be very busy. They're wanting to say that. The Empress reverse. They're wanting to say that they feel insecure about the situation. Like, did I not treat them good? Was I not good enough for them? But they would never say that. Because they don't want to reveal their own weaknesses, is what I heard. Of course, an insecurity is not a weakness, but they perceive it as a weakness. So this is someone that perceives insecurities as a weakness and doesn't want to talk about deeper emotions because they see it as kind of like revealing their weaknesses. The Four of Swords is wanting to say, I need to calm down about this. I need to stop thinking about this and stressing about the situation, but then they don't say it. The Chariot reverse. I think somebody's lying. I think there's like some kind of lie. Not that they're lying, but like I hear someone wanting to say, I think somebody's lying to me. I don't think you lied to them, but I think this misunderstanding is so big that it's like they're questioning if somebody lied to them, but not saying it. Now, they're also saying like, or also wanting to say, I hope they haven't gotten bored of me. I hope like our friendship or relationship's not boring to them. Like, I hope that I didn't maybe create an issue that maybe we're not able to fix. They're wanting to say that, but not saying it. Like, did I create an issue that I can't fix? Wheel of Fortune reverse is like timing and about things not changing. Ace of Swords reverse. So maybe even with time, like as time goes by, the confusion is still there. The confusion's not dissipating. I think they would want to say that I want to ask pile 2 for reassurance to change how I feel and how I think about the situation, because consistently pile 2 has been like sort of confusing me in a way. Their actions, their words have been confusing me. I'm confused about like where I stand with pile 2. That's what they're wanting to say but not saying. So in my mind, I'm hearing a song. I'm trying to think but what song it is. It goes like something bad is about to happen to me. I don't know it, but I feel it coming. Must leave me so sad. Must leave me what something like that. And then it goes like, I just hope she don't want to leave me. Something with the title red. I don't really remember. So maybe this person wants to say, I hope they don't leave me. I hope they're not like stopping our friendship or our relationship. They're wanting to say that but not saying it. And then in the song, he goes like something along the lines of, it could not even be real. I could just be making it up in my head, like, you know, something along those lines is what I'm hearing in my mind, that part of the song. So maybe they want to say that maybe they're just making something out of nothing. Maybe they're making a big deal out of nothing and nothing's even wrong and they're maybe just anxious, but they're not saying that. Knight of Pentacles, Strength, and King of Cups reverse with the Judgment card reverse. They would say that, they would want to say that they thought your relationship was stronger, because it's like they really think you're breaking up with them or like wanting to stop being friends with them. They would want to say like, I held it for you through thick and thin. Like, I've been there for you through all your moments, through your low moments, through your high moments. Like, I don't understand why you would want to leave me. I don't understand why you would not want to talk to me anymore. I'm going to be honest, they would want to like lie about something. I'm not sure what they would want to lie about, but they would want to, but stop themselves from doing that. And they would want to just say like, you know, I've been there for them through it all, and I don't understand why they would want to leave me or not be around me anymore. But they don't say that. So it almost feels like they're expecting something bad to happen. With the Tower reverse behind Justice reverse, they're expecting something bad to happen, but it doesn't come. And it's almost like this feeling of like, I'm expecting something to happen, but nothing happens. And it's almost like, what's the word? Not disappointing, because they don't want this bad thing to happen. I'm hearing the word uncharted territories. So maybe this feeling feels unfamiliar to them. They would want to say that. I can't think of the exact word, but it's kind of like, you know, when something just doesn't happen and you kind of expected it to happen, and it's not disappointing because you don't want it to happen, but it's like, when is it going to happen? Like, I'm waiting for a needle to drop and it never drops, and it's like making me anxious. Not me, I'm in this person's energy. When I say me, I'm in their energy. So that's what I see there. Oh, I wasn't going to remove these cards, but I did anyway. So let's take a look at these Zodiacs now. They may also want to say that they feel so comfortable around you, but they don't know if you feel the same. So we have the 12th house with endings, hidden themes, healing, karma, subconscious, solitude, closure, hidden enemies. We have the energy of Scorpio here. 12th house is associated with Pisces. I hear like them wanting to call you. Chiron with wounded healer, deep core wounds and healing. We have Aquarius. We have Mercury. I heard negative Nancy, so the person talking about you may be a little bit negative, or their name may be Nancy, or something with an N. Mercury is associated with Virgo and Gemini. Then we have Pisces. So I just wanted to get like 2 more signs. Oh, how did this get here? We have join my membership. Then we have Libra. Okay, so I'm also hearing Pretty Princess in my mind, which is from Bratz. So maybe this could be like some kind of friendship group. Let's get your initials. I think like the Bratz girls call her Pretty Princess Jasmine. So this may be like someone that has like some kind of specific nickname for you. Think of like someone that has a nickname for you if that's applicable. If it doesn't, don't force the message. We have Q. We have R. For some reason, I'm seeing Daria in my mind's eye. Maybe that means something to someone, or the character means something, like the personality traits of the character. D. Z. J. I hear the word regrets. Maybe there's some regrets here. S. I see them going through like text messages of yours and trying to like read between the lines. Sav, maybe Savannah is a name here. S-A-V. We have E. Save, maybe this is someone that saves a lot or wants to save you whenever you're in bad situations. And L. So that is what I have for you, pile 2. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Amethyst crystal and the 3 Fates card with what comes around. So we're going to take a look at what people whisper about you when you're not around. If you didn't see the intro, the rundown of the reading is we're going to take a look at who's whispering and who they're talking to. Then we're going to take a look at what they're saying. Then we're going to take a look at what they're not saying but want to say. And then after that, we'll take a look at zodiacs and initials. So let's get straight into your reading. Firstly, I'm going to pull 1 card for them, the person they're talking to, with oracle cards, and then I will pull tarot for the rest. So, we already have a card. Sewer Mermaid reverse with your sensuality is beautiful. Who are they talking to? A clockwork pumpkin with a wonderful idea, the aha moment. Okay. And we have the Snow Angel reverse at the back of the deck with the signs are with you already. So maybe this is someone unexpected, someone you would never expect. Okay, so with the number 3 here, this could either be, or not the number 3, but the 3 fates here. This could either be 3 people talking about you, or even 4 people, or it could be a group, 3 groups or 4 groups of people talking about you, like that don't know each other. Okay, so who's talking? Sewer Mermaid reverse makes me think that this person is someone that kind of gets the ick very fast. Someone that's almost like, what's the word for like when a person can't stand to be like around dirt or gross things? Squeamish. That's what I'm getting from this card energetically. Like someone that's almost squeamish. They don't want to be around like dirt or, gross things. They are someone that's maybe very modest, very like, they conceal their body in a way, they conceal their sexuality in some way. Maybe they're in the closet, or maybe they just don't talk about sex so freely. I don't get that they're modest. Like maybe they're modest, maybe they're not conservative, because I don't feel a conservative energy from them, but I get more of the energy of modesty, kind of being shy to talk about sex and stuff like that. That's what I pick up from the group of people speaking about you. Okay, then who's listening? Who they're talking to? I'm not trying to be mean, But the first thought that came to my mind when I looked at this card reverse is someone that isn't very smart, isn't the brightest bulb of them all. That's not to say they're dumb, but they're not the smartest. Or they're like a little bit slow in a way. Maybe there's someone that's like experiencing a creative block right now where ideas and stuff aren't coming to them so quickly. Maybe they take like a really long time to learn something new. It doesn't mean they're dumb, but it's just like they take longer to learn something, okay? Maybe this is someone that also doesn't know you. Speaking to someone that doesn't know you. Because with the aha moment reverse, it makes me think that they have no preconceived notions of you. They don't know you at all. Maybe they know of you, but they don't really know you at all. The group of people talking about you, or groups, have had their eye on you for a while. I don't know if this is good or bad, but we'll see when we look at like what they're talking about. Let's get the tarot cards now. So, who is whispering about pile number 3 when they're not around? Who's whispering about pile 3 when they're not around? Okay, I'm getting somebody with like lots of tattoos or like an alt aesthetic. I'm also getting somebody that likes to go clubbing a lot. Has like this cool energy about them, like in the way they dress. Maybe they dress in like a very cool, trendy way. I'm also seeing like smoky eye makeup looks. And then I'm also seeing the opposite, clean girl aesthetic. Even if it's a guy. Like very neat, tidy, always has their clothes ironed, maybe dresses in more of a smart way. I'm seeing somebody that's like studying law or studied law. So Queen of Wands, the Emperor reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles reverse. So this seems to be someone that's not working at the moment. Either they have someone they're financially relying on, like a parent or spouse. Doesn't matter the gender, but they have someone they're financially relying on. However, the person they're financially relying on could display behaviors of control patterns, and they think that they are benefiting in the situation, but I feel like the person almost, they're under their control. Whether they realize it or not, that's what I see. You know, like when you, I'm not saying this always happens because there are some generous people you can like rely on financially where they would provide for you like in a relationship type of setting or marriage type of setting where they wouldn't take advantage of the fact. But there are also some people that, you know, financially abuse a person, that control a person financially, and it happens. So I'm seeing one of those situations. Now, what I do see about this person is that they're very, or the group of people talking about you, they're very confident in themselves. They're very self-assured, kind of like bold, put themselves out there. But they kind of like want to live a soft life. They don't want to work very hard. And if they had to work, it would kind of be like something that doesn't take a lot of their time because they want to be able to do fun things and actually live their life and not just spend their life working. Okay, that's what I'm getting about the person that, or the group of people talking about you. Now, for those listening, Two of Pentacles reverse. Two of Cups reverse, and Four of Wands. So yeah, could be friendship groups with the Four of Wands, as we see here. Either literally 3 people, or 4 groups of people, 3 groups of people separately talking about you. It seems like they all go in a circle talking about you, but the people that don't really know you that well are more so listening. Does that make sense? So let's say there's 2 people in the group that know you, and then 2 people that only know of you. Maybe the 2 people that know you are the ones speaking more, and then it kind of goes around in rotation. Maybe it's happening at like some kind of sleepover or at their house or something, okay? So the person or the group of people listening seem to be people that aren't really there financially yet. Like they're still building towards stability, but they're not there yet. Maybe they're struggling financially or struggling with relationships to, keep up relationships. These seem to be people that are either single or are struggling with love, with the Two of Cups reversed. Maybe recently went through a breakup, or they're just struggling with love, where they feel like maybe they're not attracting the right type of partners their way, or it's very hard to find the right partner, or they just don't want a relationship at the moment, and they're more so focused on building their stability and on friendships. The people that are listening are very much life of the party types. They work hard but also play hard. They kind of just like want to have fun. They maybe do want to like settle down later in life, but right now they want to have fun. They want to explore their own independence. This is possibly someone that's younger or still isn't like ready to settle down yet, okay? No matter their age. Kind of like young at heart if they're not young physically, okay? So let's remove these cards and take a look at what they're saying. So we see a lot of earth sign energy so far, fire sign energy, and Aries energy. But we'll see later when we get the zodiacs. So in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a classroom, which makes me think for some of you, this could be people you went to school with. Doesn't have to be for everybody. Okay, what are they saying? What are these people whispering about pile 3 when they're not around? The Five of Cups reverse. What are they whispering about pile 3 when they're not around? People we were talking about. Judgment reverse, King of Cups reverse, and Three of Swords reverse. It's interesting that we're getting a lot of reversals. I'm going to ask Spirit what that means in a second. But what I can tell you about what they're saying so far is they're saying that you kind of seem detached in a way. You seem like very unbothered, very nonchalant at the moment. Something they expected you to be like heartbroken over or disappointed over, you seem to have like bounced back from it fast. I don't know what this is, but it's almost like whatever you went through here seemed to have been something harsh, seemed to have been something they would be hurt over if they went through it. So it kind of seems like they're putting themselves in your shoes, showing empathy for you, for what you went through in this situation, whether it was a breakup, a bad situation that happened to you, whatever it is. They expected that you would be sad over it, not because they wanted you to be sad, but anybody would be. But then they're kind of feeling insecure within, like, am I too emotional because, pile 3 got over this so quickly? They're not saying that, but they're feeling that while they're talking about you. Like questioning themselves, like, am I getting too hurt over situations? Like, do I take too long to heal? Because, pile 3 seemed to bounce back pretty quickly from this, and I don't know why. It seems like you don't even care about the public perception of it. Like, you don't really care about other people knowing your business. You don't really care about other people gossiping about you. You don't really care about other people's opinions. You're just focusing on you. And they love that for you. They're clapping for you secretly, but they wonder like how you got to that point, because they seem to be very insecure within themselves, even though they are confident most times, because when I read who this person is, they seem to be someone confident, but when they're talking about you, it's almost like it's bringing up insecurities for them that are unresolved. So although they're confident people, it's just bringing up insecurities for them. And the thing is, like, a confident person can still have insecurities here and there. So I feel like this is a very nuanced situation with someone that's usually their most confident, but in this situation, when they're talking about you, it's bringing up insecurities for them because they feel like they care about other people's perception. Like if they were to be publicly embarrassed or humiliated, they would feel it and hide from the world, but somehow you don't, like when something bad happens. So something about that's coming through. What I do also want to say with the three fates, what comes around, when people do talk about this pile negatively, they get karma very quickly. I don't think they're talking negatively, but we'll see as we pull more cards. Seems quite positive so far. We have the Magician upright with the Nine of Cups reverse. So it seems to be that you aren't really telling people about your wishes, your dreams, where you want to be in the future. You're kind of just, I guess, moving in silence, because the Magician, Nine of Cups reverse, could be like you just focusing on your goals, your dreams, not really talking about it, or giving other people much input to like give, if that makes sense. Like you're not really allowing others to have input in like your dreams, your desires, your plans for the future. And it seems like you're not really asking anybody for help. You're just doing it on your own. And they're wondering like what you're working towards right now, what you're going to be working towards next, where you want to be in the future. They wonder if like things don't go your way. Not that they want it to not go your way, but they wonder like when things happen that are unfair with justice reverse, where things just don't go your way. Like, how do you handle those situations? Because they themselves like almost feel like hiding from the whole world when something doesn't go their way. They feel embarrassed. Three of Pentacles reverse, and it seems like you aren't really in this ego energy. And when I say ego energy, what I'm talking about here is you have a balanced energy around that. You're not cocky, but you're not overly humble either, where you almost overlook yourself in a way. But you're also not someone that shows off or brags, but you're also not someone that cares about people's opinions, and you're also not someone that gets embarrassed easily. So it seems like you're at this healthy level where you're not like super in the ego. You're like detached from the ego. I don't think they're saying that, but that's kind of the vibe that's coming through here. Like, oh, pile 3 doesn't really show off. Pile 3 doesn't really care when people talk about them. But pile 3 also isn't like super humble either, where they overlook themselves. That's the kind of conversation that's happening here. There may have been lies told about you. Why is this Spirit? What lies were told? Why was the lie told? Okay, so what Spirit is showing me is other people gossiped about you and told them the rumor that they heard, that they didn't create, but they heard. And then it sort of got passed down to this group of people where they're sort of relaying the information they heard, but they haven't really fact checked with you on if this is true or not, right? But this to me doesn't feel like people you're super close to, where they can just come to you and fact check this information. So it just seems they're repeating a piece of information they heard from another person, kind of like the game of telephone, where it gets like watered down over time or changed over time, the gossip. There could have been like rumors shared that weren't true, like from another person, where maybe the truth was twisted in some way or watered down or changed in some way by other people, right? Now, in terms of why all the cards are reversed, I want to ask Spirit about that. I'm seeing someone that's watching you very heavily, but has no idea of what's truly going down in your life. So their perception of you may not even be completely accurate in a way, because they're watching you, but they can't like actually ask you, hey, is this information true? So it kind of just feels like they're talking based off assumption. Just like if I were to talk about a celebrity, I don't know what's going on in that celebrity's life. I would be talking based off assumption and based off what I've seen. That's the energy that's coming through. And people love to talk about this pile for some reason. You're just like very interesting to talk about. I don't see them trying to create drama when speaking about you with the Nine of Wands reverse. In fact, I think they're trying to avoid drama, avoid saying anything negative because they don't want to like create drama with you. In fact, they're actually very intimidated by you and kind of scared of you. They're scared to mess with you in some way. They're not saying that, but that's the underlying energy that's coming through here when they speak about you. 10 of Wands, the Moon reverse, the High Priestess reverse, and the Five of Pentacles reverse. There is one person in the group of people, or the multiple groups of people, that is saying, I don't really trust pile number 3, but, you know, I don't really know them that well either, so, like, I'm not gonna like make judgments about them, because I see them like not wanting to create drama, being like, there's something about pile 3 I just don't really trust one person in the group. I just get that they're talking about the hardships you've been through, the losses you've experienced with the Five of Pentacles, not really talking bad about it, but showing you empathy and wondering like how you got over it so fast, how you just seem so detached from it, how you just never gave up, and you just seem to be moving forward in a very beautiful way. So let's remove these cards and see what they're not saying but want to say. I do see them kind of like making some jokes here and there, but not laughing at you, okay? Which I'm glad that pile 2 and 3 came out a lot more positive, because usually when I do like these gossip readings, a lot of the times they're just very negative, full of drama. So I'm glad to see some like real nice conversations here that aren't filled with drama. Okay, so what they're not saying but want to say. Queen of Wands. They're wanting to talk about your confidence, your humbleness, all that, and how it makes them feel. Like they're in their own like self-perception. Not that they would want to compare themselves to you, but kind of like they would want to say, how I said before, they feel insecure because, you know, am I too emotional? That energy of questioning themselves, like, you know, do I take really long to get over things? Maybe a little bit of self-comparison, but not envy with the Devil reverse. 8 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles reverse. Okay, so what they're not saying but want to say. Someone wants to change the subject or topic, but doesn't. Why, Spirit? Why do they want to change the topic? 3 of Pentacles reverse. The Magician. Context. 6 of Wands reverse. Someone in the group feels insecure around you, and it's almost like they feel uncomfortable whenever... This seems to be a person listening to the conversation. They feel uncomfortable whenever your name is brought up because of the fact that they feel insecure around you. They don't feel like their best self around you. They compare themselves to you, especially when it comes to things you've done for yourself, like your accomplishments. They don't feel that accomplished, and so even if you may not feel that accomplished yourself, it seems that this person listening compares themselves to you and wants to end the conversation there because they don't want to like envy you or say anything negative about you with the Devil reverse, but they also just feel very insecure about their own financial situation with the 10 of Pentacles reverse and maybe not having people around them to support them. And they feel like the person talking or the group of people talking wouldn't really understand because they have somebody that's helping them financially. But this person or the group of people listening feel like they don't really have that financial support. They have to go at it alone. But they do also look at it as if, you know, because you did this on your own, because you accomplished things on your own, then maybe I can too. So they're kind of like thinking that in their mind, but not saying it. Now, I do see someone in the group wanting to be closer to you, or someone in the set of these groups wanting to be closer to you, and wanting to develop a deeper emotional connection with you, but feeling kind of like they don't know if you would want them back. Like, not in a romantic way, but more in a friendship type of way. Like, I would want to be friends with pile 3, but I don't know if they would want to be friends with me back. But they choose not to say that. I don't know why, but that's what I see. Someone wants to say something they heard about you, like another set of gossip they've heard about you, but they're choosing not to say it because maybe they feel like it's just not the right time to say it or to bring it up, or maybe they feel like it's best to not bring it up. It kind of feels like, you know, when you're having a conversation with somebody and if you had to bring this topic up, it would completely change the topic of conversation around where it wouldn't be like appropriate. Not because it's like bad or anything like that, but because the people listening would be like, why are you changing the topic when we're talking about this? Do you get what I mean? So it's something like that that's coming through where they heard gossip about you, but they choose to not share it in the moment because they don't want to like be inconsiderate to the people talking at the moment. Okay. Someone in the group is infatuated with you, likes you. I don't know if they are crushing on you, like fully. I don't know if it's like a full on crush, but they're attracted to you and they like you in some way, but they're not saying it. Okay, so remember when I spoke about the group of people listening that aren't dumb, but they're also not the brightest bulb in the room? The Hierophant reverse makes me think that they would want to compare their intelligence with yours and be like, oh, do you think pile 3 would, you know, make it further than me because of their intelligence or because of their knowledge or what they've studied or because they're educated? Like, maybe they don't have the funds to go to university or to college or something, you know. Maybe they had to work because of their financial situation where they can't afford to go to college or something. So there seems to be like some kind of want or need to self compare, but they're not doing it. I feel like the things they would want to say would be a little bit impulsive, but they're choosing not to be impulsive and not to say these things. Now, there is one person in the group that wants to say that because you're very much just focused on you at the moment, what I'm getting here is maybe you aren't really focused on friendships so much at the moment or relationships so much at the moment. You're more so focused on building yourself up, building a name for yourself, building your career in some way, your achievements. And so maybe you've kind of had to put your social life on the back burner for a second. But it doesn't mean you don't care about like forming relationships. Maybe you're just really busy nowadays. And so you don't have time to like form meaningful friendships. Maybe you have some friends, but you're not like overly friendly with everybody. And there's someone in the group that almost like wants to stir the pot and say they're selfish. They just seem to care about themselves. They don't seem to like want to make many friends. But that's just their perception. Don't take it personally because they have no idea what's going on. It's like they think they know, but they don't know. Because if they really put themselves in your shoes, they would understand, but they're not. Okay, we have the King of Wands. We have the Eight of Swords reverse, and we have the Four of Wands. I see somebody wanting to say, you know, like talking about another person's pointless, not because there's anything wrong with you, not because they don't like you, but because they want to go out and have fun with the Four of Wands. They don't want to like sit at home talking about a person they don't even know. I feel like this would be the person listening or the group of people listening. And they're kind of like stuck in the conversation, wanting to change the topic and the topic, but like not really knowing how to without seeming rude, if that makes sense. And it's not like they don't like you or anything like that, but it's just like, come on, let's go do something fun. That's the type of energy I see here. So let's get your zodiac signs. So I'm intending that I will pull their zodiac signs, the people talking about you, but if I do pull yours, that's just extra confirmation. It doesn't mean you're talking about yourself unless you are, but it doesn't mean that, okay? So let's see. I'm trying to get like mostly zodiacs and not just houses and planets. Okay, let's see how many we have here. We have Mercury with communication, thought process, intellect, which makes sense because they're talking about you. Mercury can relate to Virgo and Gemini energy. We have Cancer. Oh my gosh. Let me just say, I think I might be part of this pile because I saw someone I know in my mind's eye now. I'll just explain the person, like their characteristics and traits, because maybe it also relates to you in some way. But if it doesn't, it's okay. So this person is like very much like one of those party types of people, but right now they're partying less and more so focusing on their career, because I think they were partying so much that it took a toll on their career, like on their responsibilities. So that's what I'll say about them. Then we have Mars, which is Scorpio and Aries energy. And it says vitality, action, assertion, confidence, conflict, desire. Then we have Sagittarius. We have Saturn, which is Aquarius and Cap. We have Uranus with individuality, innovation associated with Aquarius. We have Pisces. We have the first house, which is associated with Aries and the self. We have Virgo lastly. I don't know why Virgo keeps coming up in my readings. Like, and as well as Pisces and Saturn energy. And even the Mercury energy, it keeps coming up. So I don't know if I'm like reading for the same people. But yeah, those are the zodiacs we have here. For some reason, I'm like seeing ASMR videos in my mind's eye. I don't know if you like ASMR, if someone that's talking about you likes ASMR. You could also be kind of like the opposite of this person or the group of people speaking about you. Or you could like not be totally opposite from them, but like have some differences in a way where you're not completely the same as them. I see somebody talking about you that like overindulgence in food is a little bit gluttonous, or more of a foodie, if not gluttonous, but I'm seeing more of a gluttonous energy. LRZ. I even think someone's speaking about you that smells really good. A D F. I'm hearing you as you amaze me, so someone could be saying that about you. E C H and E, which says he, which makes me think there could be a man talking about you in the group. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.